Mina with Dawson Underground, and I'm here with Tim from Tipping Creamery, not the Tipping Creamery.
Yep.
Can you talk a little bit about the Tipping Creamery and how your food truck came to be, and just a little bit about the place and what you do?
No problem. It's family owned. My wife and I started it about 6 months ago. We actually started it about a year ago, but we opened 6 months ago. We used to be located up in the northwest Austin area, up by 620 Anderson Mill area, and it was a great way to start. We knocked out all the bugs that you get when you first open a company, of course. We decided food truck, and my wife's always loved ice cream. She developed the menu, and we went from there.
You've got quite an extensive menu. Can you tell me how you got so many different ideas? Can you talk a little bit more about the concept of what you have, the kind of ice cream you have, the toppings and the mix and sauces, and then can you tell me how you guys thought of such an extensive menu?
Of course, actually this is a pared down menu. The menu is about twice the size of the menu. But what it was is we went out and looked. My wife's a huge ice cream fan. Well, all family is. We have my two sons who work on the truck off and on. Not work, but like to come down to the truck. We have always been giant ice cream fans, and we wanted to open a hard scoop ice cream truck to begin with. And in the process of researching that, we realized that the demand for hard scoop was kind of fulfilled here in Austin. Development of that, we decided that due to the fact that soft serve you can only make so many flavors, that our real focus would be on custom homemade, and not homemade, but handmade toppings. And so a big part of our truck is all the toppings that we make. Everything from more exotic toppings like a Vietnamese lemon curry roasted coconut to everything even simple as just chocolate chips and a graham pie crust and toasted marshmallows to make like a s'more style. So,
Give me s'mores. It's basically a vanilla ice cream with graham cracker crumbs, chocolate chips, and some toasted marshmallows with a chocolate syrup inside of it, I think. Let's give it a try and see what it's like. So, it's definitely, the s'mores is a really good idea. I like how the marshmallows are all toasted on here, because they're not just marshmallows in it like a Rocky Road ice cream. They're actually toasted marshmallows, and there's enough chocolate to make it feel like it's a s'mores ice cream. It's not just chocolate chips. So I do like that. They're definitely plenty of toppings in here to really jazz up the vanilla. So that's a good thing, because usually, they're known for their toppings. So I guess they've really done that well. And there's enough flavor to make the vanilla not so boring in vanilla. It's pretty interesting. It's a pretty good size. It's not like too big or too small. So I'd say this is pretty good. I guess if you're not a big fan of vanilla, you'd want to try something else. But, if you really like vanilla, here's something that can make it even better. And if you're not usually a fan of vanilla because it's too boring, this is going to change that. Once again, I really like that they toasted the marshmallows, because that really makes a difference. Okay, so here we have the cake shake. So they do have shakes, and what it basically is an entire slice of cake, red velvet cake, with some red velvet, I guess, crumbs on top, organic whole milk, and ice cream, and just like everything, all mixed together with, I guess, some whipped cream on top. And this is the cake shake. I'm gonna try a sip of it. It tastes like cake. It doesn't just like have the flavor of cake, but since it's like made out of cake, literally there's an entire slice of cake in here. It still has the texture of birthday cake, which I like. Maybe some people may not like it. They want a more creamy milkshake, so it's not your typical creamy shake. It has that texture of cake in there. I personally think it's a good thing. Although it is a bit overly sweet, I think, which I liked about the s'mores was that they had good balance. And this one doesn't have as much texture, and it's a little too sweet, but it's still pretty good. It's definitely a really good treat for those with a sweet tooth. So I do like that, and I like the texture of the cake. This is the mango a-go-go. It's what Tim described as a little more exotic, which definitely is. There's a handmade vanilla bean ice cream made with Indonesian vanilla bean and milk dairy, mixed with a mango puree and macadamia nut and coffee soil, which he describes as ground up coffee grounds. Made with local coffee and ground up cashews, a mixture of a bunch of different spices, 8 different spices, and brown sugar, all kind of crushed up and baked and roasted, and then it's kind of the topping that's used throughout this entire thing. So I would say it's definitely the most interesting and creative of the different things we've tried. Let's give this a try. I think this is really cool. I mean, I'm more of a chocolate girl myself, but speaking from that perspective, I'd say this is something I would still order, even if it's not chocolate. Like, and it has the coffee in it, and I think that coffee grounds add a nice touch. It's not like gross or too strong or too espresso-y. It's really good because the coffee adds just a little bit enough extra flavor that it's not overly sweet. It's not like too much of the mango and the vanilla and all the sugar. There's some crunch from the nuts and from the coffee grounds that add some texture and some balance to the whole thing. And I think that's really what makes this the most interesting and very creative, for sure. I do like the creativity. I do like the creativity of this place and the things they have. That's one thing I have noticed. They use a lot of different creative methods in making their ice cream, and so it just really adds pizzazz to the whole thing.